Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. We're talking about young, dynamic weapons that have been added to this offense. So there's one guy in particular. We're talking about young tight end Jared Wiley, who's really impressing. None other than an older, but yet still very dynamic tight end in Travis Kelce. Had a lot of great things to say about Wiley. Let's get into the article and we can talk more about it on the other side. This is from over on Arrowhead Report. It says, with Kansas City back in town for mandatory minicamp this week, Kelce was one of three players who spoke to the media on Tuesday. When asked about Wiley, the future Hall of Fame pass catcher said the rookie is ahead of the game. Kelce compared the fourth round pick's advanced understanding of the offense to his own back in 2013, saying it's not a particularly close race. Jay Wiley, man, Kelce said, I'll tell you what, man, he's got a lot of upside. He's got a lot of upside. Very comfortable, smart guy. I would say he's a lot further along than I was in terms of just understanding the offense and really seeing the field. He's trusting what he's seeing right now. And I'll tell you what, 15, aka Patrick Mahomes, and 11, aka Carson Wentz, the quarterbacks are on time with it. It's fun to watch him kind of take off and get more comfortable out there. Again, this from Arrowhead Report. I think this is a great report just showing that Wiley is coming in and is a little bit ahead of schedule from, at least in Kelce's eyes, who I would trust more than anyone about a tight end. I think this is great news for the Chiefs, Knicks. I'm curious what your thoughts on this one are. But before we get to you, Chiefs fans, in the comment section below, I think this is probably going to be an easy question, but maybe not, because there's two great ones that I can think of. Let us know in the comments below, who's your favorite Chiefs tight end of all time? And I'll give you bonus points. If it's not Tony Gonzalez, if it's not Travis Kelce, give us another option in there as well, or an additional option that's not one of those guys. Let us know who is your favorite of all time in the comment section below. But Nick, before we get to you, one more thing. Chiefs fans, look in the description of this video. We know you're the smartest fans in football. We know you love all of the knowledge about the game. So below this video in the description, we have a list of some of our favorite football-based books. Some are about the game in general. Some are some autobiographies about some of the greats of the game. So if you're looking for that extra football knowledge, check the description in the video below. But Nick, what are your thoughts on Jared Wiley?
Look, I think before I get into Wiley, how can you leave out blocking tight end extraordinaire Jason Dunn, who opened up so many holes for Priest Holmes? I mean, come on. I think he's even ahead of Gonzalez and Kelce in some respects.
Yeah.
Not really, but still, I think he was a good player. But anyway, when it focuses on Wiley here, this is obviously an outstanding update, and it's what we've seen this entire offseason. If you go back a few weeks, Patrick Mahomes was saying very good things about Wiley as well. This is what he said, according to Yahoo.com. He can make those tough contested catches kind of in the middle of the field, and he's faster than people think he is. He played good, right? That's Patrick Mahomes saying those things about Jared Wiley. So he's impressing everybody up to this point. He's impressed Carson Wentz as well, according to Kelce. So you look at a guy here in Jared Wiley who's doing all the right things. And I really want to focus on the fact that he understands the mental aspect of playing tight end in this Chiefs offense, because the greatness of Travis Kelce, he's a great athlete. He's got great hands. All that's undeniable. But he's not the best athlete at the tight end position in football. He doesn't have the best hands at the tight end position in football. He's not the biggest, strongest guy, right, at the tight end position in football. But he's so good because he's crafty. He understands weaknesses in defenses. He understands where his quarterback wants him to get to and gets to that space quickly and expeditiously. I think that's one of the underrated geniuses of Travis Kelce. Everyone thinks he's kind of an airhead a little bit, kind of like the Gronk effect. But Kelce is a genius on the football field for his understanding of finding holes in zones and getting open. The fact that we're seeing this from Jared Wiley at this point is a great sign, because if Jared Wiley can do that and relieve Travis Kelce with some reps during the regular season, or maybe throw in some two tight end sets, watch out. This offense is going to be incredibly difficult to stop, because the addition of Hollywood Brown and Worthy, suddenly the Chiefs now have two speed demons. Teams are going to have to go back to that two deep safety look, which means if two safeties are deep, means the middle of the field, there's going to be a lot more space to work, which means tight ends are going to have the ability to find holes in zones a lot easier, which means Kelce and now Jared Wiley will absolutely feast on defenses, right? And as much as the Chiefs offense struggled last season, at times they picked it up where they needed to most, but as much as they struggled, they were a lot closer to being good than people thought. They just were one or two playmakers, big playmakers, vertical speed guys at wide receiver to having everything go back into place. Teams could just defenses could just come up with strategies, basically eliminate Kelsey and not be worried about a deep threat, focus on stopping the run and try and force Patrick Mahomes into making a few mistakes. That's what teams did for a while. They're not going to be able to do that anymore because Worthy can take the top off the defense, because Hollywood Brown can take a top off the defense, and now you've got another tight end that knows how to work those zones. So even if you double Kelsey, you got a guy in Wiley who will find openings, get open, catch the football. He's earning that respect from Mahomes and Carson Wentz. I tell you what, Chiefs fans, I try to tamper my expectations a little bit when it comes to Kansas City, because no one's ever won 3 in a row, right? There's always struggles, right? The AFC is getting better, the division's getting better, right? Chargers have Harbaugh, of course. You kind of look at the scenario and say, it's going to be really hard to win 3 in a row. But it's kind of undeniable at this point that everything the Chiefs have done strategically this offseason is working absolutely to perfection. Even if you avoid the negative headlines, which everyone's loved talking about, when you focus on the nitty-gritty details, this Chiefs offense is going to be absolutely incredibly hard to stop, and a big part of that's going to be Jared Wiley.
Yeah, and I think you talked about it. You hit on it. Negative headlines. What comes to mind? Obviously, we're talking about Rashee Rice and whatever happens with that whole thing. But I think you said it. This is a team. You named the guys. You talk about Marquise Hollywood Brown on this team. You talk about Xavier Worthy. Now we talk about Wiley. You get Travis Kelce on that mix. You get some of these good running backs to the Chiefs, as they Pacheco out there. I don't mean to say this in a negative way, but who cares if Rashee Rice is out there? You've got 5 playmakers on the field right now. I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes can work with that. Last year, he really only had Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. You add in 3 more guys to the mix. I think this Chiefs team is looking A-okay, no matter how the cookie crumbles on that situation. I really like what's going on with the Chiefs offense, and I think they have, kind of put themselves in a safety blanket as far as adding in a lot of weapons to this team, and really, no matter what happens, they're going to be in a great position.